Brandon Carl Arnold, November 9th, 1987. Started off as a career with Royal Caribbean Cruise of 5 years, which it drastically, miserably ended with his sex addiction and alcoholism, in which he had hookups with cruise guests over 300 plus people. Is 100% illegal for the crew members to engage with guests in that ways. That he takes a great pride in his career as he boasts about it to his friends out loud and after the divine justice, and given opportunities to really look into himself by letting him travel the world, rest from those eradicated lifestyles. He haven't changed, but still fucked around and came to Korea to become an English teacher. That's how I met this individual when I was 19, through the dating app, and at that time I was naive and hurt by violences came from my family, friends, and the culture. I was going through social dissociation, but I've tried to escape South Korea by becoming a refugee because I did not want to serve the mandatory military because I simply didn't believe in war. And still up until this point, South Koreans put the individuals who do not want to serve war due to their religious beliefs and practices, put those beings into jail and they become a criminal in their names. Brandon Carl Arnold, in which we've dated for about 2 years, suggested me to move to Hawaii and get married, in which after 3 years of marriage, I tried to escape from him, took his money to buy a plane ticket, but it somehow didn't work out. And for about 2 years, I couldn't work because of the visa processes, and there had been a lot of pressure, and things had happened, in which nowadays he's firmly believing that I'm stealing his money because of that incident, which he never spoken about it up until today, where he's desperately trying to control and manipulate, at the same time victimizing himself, exploiting personal crisis into his such stories just to gain some pity from others, and created an egregores to force his agenda, his cynical agendas to others and myself. We are divorced long before. The point is, 3 years ago, when I decided to work on music, he acted just as he is today, and I got away from him by moving to New York City, in which that's where my 1 years of homeless shelter journey began, and also where I've made 10 albums and all sorts of other videos. He liked the fact that he could gain some benefits from my businesses and suggested me to come to his place because of the environment I was in and the struggles I was facing during those times. It started off lightly. He had been receiving an unemployment check for about 7 months straight, total of $23,000, in which he's been using those times and resources to just lay down, scroll, that it became his ultimate addiction at this present moment of time, within his cynical, pessimistic views of life. He says, I decided to give myself some rest because I've been working too much, so I've been doing nothing. Well, the world is falling, what's the point of trying? It never worked. Referring to his trials of podcast or any videos he did, which he didn't even really try. Making less than 100 videos for the YouTube and businesses compared to 5,000 plus videos and at least failing at 50 plus channels is two distinctively different things in which he claims that those YouTube businesses himself and I have been tried. Maybe because he's been paying the phone bills in which he cut that phone bill off just to manipulate and gain control. How that happened is that I noticed he began to make conflicts out of nothing. I gave him some reasons why we can create our own realities despite whatever is going on, and it's fun to do. Follow our passion, path of least resistance, love manifestation, how to edit videos, how to specify the YouTube businesses, even gave him a tarot card readings, in which he took those as mere criticism and judgment, then reflecting upon himself. He began to say, "You haven't left the house for 5 days, you are unhealthy, you are sick, you are not taking care of yourself." Out of nowhere, which at first I thought maybe he's just considering something, maybe he is seeing something as an outsider view, but I explained to him that thank you for your consideration, but I'm actually am taking care of myself. Well, he refused to believe in whatever the words I spoke, continued on his beefing covered with "I'm a good guy who is just concerned of you" masks. As soon as I realized that it had nothing to do with the facts, and even my words never meant anything due to the stories he put himself to, he telling himself about, to create himself as some victim of such, and just to gain some pity from others, at the same time break the will of oneself by saying, "You're not doing anything, you're almost 30, you're fucking homeless, you're stealing money from me, you're taking advantage of me, you're financially abusing me, you cannot even keep a job," to the person who himself first offered me to come to his place because he admired my work and dedication. Second, I worked as a cafe manager at least 1.5 years in 2 different places, and once an assistant manager at the franchise coffee shop we all know the name about, which he never seemed to take word for word. It all happened in under a month. Brandon Carl Arnold and his ex-alcoholic lover recently had a physical violence, like almost about to kill one another, which he wants to go back to that ex because of sex. The addiction and debauchery nature of Brandon being attracted to another extreme alcoholic addicted person. So I decided to protect myself from him by not talking to him personally anymore, but responding to basic conversations in communication, which he's been forcing me to aggressively, erratically manipulate every little single things, from water, a yoga mat, the coffee machine that he never uses, in which he's been taking that away from me just because. In the beginning of the time, when I was taking a shower, he sneak peeks into the bathroom through the window. He even checked on my luggage, the mug cup in the refrigerator. He tend to buy some $40 to $60 of luxury things he don't even care about because he just could with his unemployment check. After he manipulated me with coffee, even laundry money, all sorts of other rules and things he tried to force me to follow that never mattered, I decided to drink this tea that's been never touched for 5 months. He didn't like the flavor, never cared about it, but spent $60. I began to drink and put that leftover in the refrigerator. The next day, what I found was that the tea was gone, my mug was replaced with different lids. He began to put more rules and conditions of whatever he could. Basically, you're in my space. If you don't cooperate with me, I have to create consequences for you. That was his mantra that repeatedly said to me and himself, in which in the beginning he threatened me by saying, I know you are capable of this, so I shouldn't give you any food, laundry, coffee, because if I do, I'm doing something you can do, which you are capable of it. He says that's the way I can actually support you. Those nuances began soon as I gave him distances to protect myself from him. Thankfully, he's been getting food stamps, and I've been eating, but no choices of any groceries. Imagine what he would do and say from those points. I said none and demanded nothing throughout these times. Even after I came to his place from the homeless shelter, these behaviors got really extreme and aggressive. I went to the homeless shelter in his state, which he began to call me like crazy and apologized. So I came back just to realize his apologies were never meant anything, and he's never wrong, and he's done nothing to hurt, cause damage, or harm. And as I've meditated through, the very reason why he invited me to come to his place was just to gain some benefits out of my businesses. Otherwise, why would he reacted so aggressively and desperately to gain control over me? When I silently gave him distances from myself after all of his weird behaviors, then he exploited my personal struggles, such as suicidal moments, to all of his friends and family by adding with, he's not doing anything with his life, he's been taking advantage of me, he's taking money from me, stealing things from me, he's gambling and has mental health issues, which gambling refers to this game called Bubble Cash, in which is a 100% skill-based game that comes with money. Here's the proof. He's been demonizing under false characterization, ideas, stories, just to gain some pity from his circles by absolutely destroying one another's sense of self, self-esteem, ego, through saying all sorts of things that are not even true at all. After those, I've chose to really end my life. His behaviors were too extreme and I was already burnt out, which I told him, I'm about to just end my life. Anything to say as a last word? He called the police and they put me into the behavior center, in which people who's been experiencing abuse, life hardships, to rest without those damages. I stayed there for 3 days, met an amazing people, sung a song for them, gave employees and people tarot card readings, introducing my music, how I came here about. A great time with great people. Then I came back. Finally, Brandon agrees to not talking to me directly, but communicate things only through the writing, which it never really lasted. He is ever a victim, and as a rule, he agreed to not speak to me directly, yet ignores his own agreement and spoke to me. I simply minded my own businesses, in which he's been saying such things like, Arnold, you are cursing me, you are ignoring me, you are so disrespectful, you are sick, you have mental illnesses. ChatGPT told me that this is financial abuse, blah blah blah. Can you believe that I told him I've been eating less, using less laundries so that you can save up your money? This is act of gratitude. And he took that as I'm micromanaging his finances. So you can come about how deep he is in with his delusions and victimized stories he tells himself because his inactivities of his own life and due to his limiting beliefs, cynical, pessimistic views of life and about himself, he's completely given up on himself yet blaming another, puts full accountabilities onto others in which is solely his own. I plead this case through my innocence and purity I have kept for myself, despite the egregores he created to break down my will and character, the lies, deceits within hidden agendas he's been had, which revealed so fast enough this all happened in less than a month. At times I'm thinking to myself, if I just ignored whatever state he was in, and don't even mention about how dangerous it is to be in a state and the situation of cynical, arrogant, willful ignorance, which I didn't say it directly but gave him some benefits of doubts so that he can think for himself. Would things have been different? The answer was no. I believe that I should help others in any way I can, and as I begin with enlightening one individual at times, I'm changing the world towards better places to live. As this mantra led me to give free tarot card readings while I was at the homeless shelter in New York City, and especially those who helped me. Why not, and why would I cause any conflicts, especially based on where I came from, up until Brandon Carl Arnold's place he voluntarily offered me to stay. Here's a spiritual note. He's been one of those beings in Hollywood where beings take themselves very seriously and highly above all the others, and treats others nicely in front of others, and when in private, they're just completely assholes and disrespectful, looking down on others like they're some cockroaches they could kill anytime or a rat, in which we must respect the living creatures, which Brandon Carl Arnold have killed innocent rat came into the house due to his dirty, unorganized dishes and foods, yet he set a sticky trap and put that alive rat into trash bag, threw it in the dumpster while the rat was still alive during the hottest summer day. Imagine you are fairly young, arrogant and ignorant, inviting all of others who are also have similar vibrational frequencies through debauchery, sex, hookups. At the same time, he is a victim, that he drank just because, he hooked up with guys just because, not realizing the divine justice and grace for him to change over 10 years period of time by giving him different experiences so that he could really reflect upon himself and slow it down, in which he has never changed, to the extent that nowadays he's 24/7 night and day scrolling phone addict with weird sexual behaviors and desires which created by oppressed mind he himself is, because the energy has to be expressed in some way, and that's how individuals develop such weird obsessive sexual expressions. In Korea, while he was an English teacher, he never stopped drinking like a maniac. Functional alcoholics. The frequency he holds in this present moment tells how deeply he is lying. He's been lying to himself, victimizing himself while he was the one who's been injustice to himself above and beyond all of those life-changing golden opportunities presented in front of him. Because of that, this time he took my businesses as if this is his other change. This is his another opportunity to gain without putting any efforts or doing the inner work he should have been doing. Crossing the lines by lying in his desperate position, he couldn't seem to figure out. After all of those graceful opportunities given by the universe, all things had been taken for granted, not only damaging himself but others, always seeking to fight, argue, create conflicts, judgmental towards others, unnecessary and very negative criticisms towards others, gossiping with his friends for about 3 hours that's filled with those wasteful words. Sex is not physical, but it's a creative forces for us to serve the one created us, is to unconditionally be and express through our passion, integrity, and purity. Just by being in the flow of passion and life itself, we are destined to be filled with happiness, abundance, and joy. Infinite expansion without beginnings and ends, yet the rewards are given exact the moment as we are. It shows how much conditions the individuals putting themselves onto, and therefore their densities of vibrational frequencies becomes heavier and heavier. Karma simply means an indication of changes, symbolism of the clutch and the opportunities for us to change. And the language of 3D reality is actions, not our thoughts, emotions, but the action which shows to the universe. Our higher mind recognizes that as we have received the messages and the indication guidances of so-called karma, in which our choices upon free will, that it is simply an individual's choice, and when the individual simply ignores, why would higher self will give the individual any more messages in which has been ignored throughout such a period of times. The universe is unconditional. Even the conditions we put onto ourselves, the universe unconditionally supports, and if we ask, the guidance will be given. But those are times of karmic retributions. There will be a froze of times due to neglected, irresponsible, arrogant responses we have shown to our higher selves. But the universe is still unchanging. It's our higher mind recognizes how much time we may need to truly realize who we are and what we are, by forcefully creating space through many will define it as a karmic path, which is absolutely unconditional and based on love, the unconditional love. Side note is that nobody can actually judge you, except those constructed criticisms we may need at times. But those who negatively judges, criticizes are those who judges and negatively criticizes themselves. Therefore, the reflection they witnessing, expressed through the emotions by the unconscious mind, which contains the unresolved emotions directed towards others. Even the negative connotations and complaints are part of those agendas. Open minds are less oppressive, and it's only because there's always a ways to solve problems, conflicts, even pressures in which, due to deep-seated spiritual ignorance, human beings lashes out, kills one another, so-called war we are having, in which the desire of murder is love. Because the love they desired wasn't being given the way they wanted, they lashes out, chose to act certain ways. What do you want from me?
To not treat me like I have done you wrong.
Actually, you did. That's
no,
why.
I have not, Sunyan.
Okay. That's the part that I'm talking about. It's not equal. You're not going to listen to it.
If I've done something to hurt you, it is your responsibility to communicate it. Done you wrong?
Actually, you did. That's
no,
why.
I have not, Sunyan. It is your responsibility to communicate it.
You're not going to listen to it.
Sunyan, I want it dark. It's 2:30 in the morning. Do I have to come in here and unscrew the bulb? You dumbass. I'm so sick of it. It's a one-bedroom apartment. You dumbass, 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 dumbass.
The light wasn't even full. I was just quietly reading my book with this towel on. This is the room. Even if the light comes in, it only comes in through the bottom of the floor. Do not affect any of this room.
This isn't gonna work.
Okay.
You saying, okay, and it's you actually engaging in the conversation. You're doing something else while I'm talking.
Okay.
Does this make sense?
Yes, I stopped.
I don't feel like I'm being unfair, Sunyan.
I stopped. What do you need?
The other thing I want to say is I'm not controlling you. I'm controlling my environment. You're in this environment. I'm controlling my environment. You're in this environment. It's my right to control my environment.
Okay, so you're admitting that you're controlling, and I stopped
My environment, not you. Environment, not you.
I stopped this. Would you stop this? Thank you.
We're not finished talking though.
No, I got it. I stopped what I was doing. Does that make sense?
Yes, that
Thank
does
you.
make sense. Thank you for stopping.
Okay.
Now we can engage in a respectful conversation.
Okay. So does that build the requirement that I need?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
That's literally it. Basic respect, basic cooperation.
Yay, happy to follow it.
I need to let you know that when those things aren't followed, when those things that I just stated are not followed, I will take those things away again.
You can.
What you feel and what you're doing to me. This hurts me. If I've done something to hurt you, it is your responsibility to communicate it. It's not my responsibility to mind read it. You're almost 30 years old. You are better than this. You are so much better than this. You are so much better than this. Which is why I'm not giving up, I'm not backing down from this. You can try to sabotage this all you want, I'm not backing up from this. While you read a book about war, I ask for peace. I hope that someday you don't look back at this.
It's okay, come here, give me your hand, give me your hand. Shut the fuck up.
I hope that someday you don't look back and just kick you out. I could turn off your phone. I could do so many things. To not treat me like I have done you wrong.
Actually, you did. That's
No, I
why.
have not, Sunyan.
Okay. That's the part that I'm talking about. It's not equal. You're not going to listen to it. So the roll of quarters is for you, but after that it's up to you to pay for laundry, just to communicate clearly on my part. The things I'm no longer paying for, cell phone, coffee, laundry, were things I felt was me overthinking help to you. Food and a place to stay, you are very welcome to. I'm not okay with how things are between us, and I'm sorry how I have hurt you. I do feel like the things I'm not doing anymore are things you're completely capable of doing for yourself. I love you, Sung. I'm not your enemy. The correct apologies should have been... Correct apologies. Hi, Sung. First of all, I'm done with controlling over coffee, laundry, cell phone through you. I guess the devil took over me to make your life much harder, knowing that you just need some assistance. And I'm sorry that I exploited your personal struggles such as suicide and financial issues. Well, in which those aren't really the issues, because I know you've been working very hard towards making your life better. I guess my own limiting beliefs and fear got me the best. And I'm sorry that I lied to my family and all of my friends that you are not helping yourself, you cannot keep a job, and financially abusing me. I'm the one who asked you to come to my place, and you've made 10 albums during the homeless shelter stay, which I guess I wanted to do the things you do, but honestly, I've got too comfortable with that unemployment checks, in which that's exactly why I'm feeling all of the financial pressures that I have put onto you. Because until this moment of time, I really didn't want to look into myself at all. I must let my friends and family know that I completely lied about who you are and what you've been actually doing. And when you got here, you've been showed me how to edit, start the businesses I've prolonged due to my arrogance, willful ignorance, and simply negative laziness, in which I took you for granted and totally demonized you. I guess I was pitying on my helplessness so that I could gain some pity from others by putting you down as much as I could. Oh yeah, partially I really thought that I could force you to take me to places for vacations once you got that money and treat me for shopping and clothes. I love extravagances, which is the evil. I must meet God and be a better person from now on. Take away all those obsessions and conditions that are only hurting myself and others. What capitalism can do also, right? Well, I have no excuses. Anyway, I totally understand if you want to talk to me, or even this apology won't be delivered, because I know how much I've hurt you in such a short period of time through shadow boxing within myself, in which you were nothing but kind and supportive. And sorry for micromanaging and physically aggressive towards you as well. Would be a correct apologist. And the inverted psychologist behind his writings. An inverted psychologist. I feel like I lost my chance. My last chance to convert. My luck is fading away. He's completely distant from me, and my aggressiveness, manipulation, and gaslighting didn't work to break his will, so that he can be codependent on me like in the past. I met this naive bitch do that all the time so I can feel better about myself. And that pure I trust you face, I just wanna fucking crush that fucking face. Oh, if I say I love you, he cannot resist this. Trap. Fall. Give me what belongs to me. Pay me, you piece of shit. And since I still have power over coffee, laundry, and cell, if he don't act accordingly, I can just take those right back. This is the chance to make him believe that I'm sincere, and once this stupid bitch falls back into this trap, he's got no way to tell my friends and family how I treated him and even lied.